Harvey, Mark, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. It means a lot to me as a fan of the show. I've gotten to chat with you both a couple of times beforehand. So to kind of, finish off this journey this way, it means a lot to me personally. So thanks and congratulations on the completion of the series. How do you guys feel now that it's all wrapped up and really you guys have to put these characters away now?
I mean, it feels surreal. It's like it was a blink of an eye. It was also like a long period of time, but it happened so quickly. Uh, I'm just honored to be a part of a show that has touched so many people's hearts and has made so many people laugh. So it's been great.
Yeah, it feels good, and uh, there's definitely a sense of accomplishment. Whether earned or not is not for me to say, but I feel like if the show was no longer that funny or if it became annoying, that would be the worst thing possible, and I would have a different feeling leaving it. So I guess I'm happy that I got to be a part of, what's become a beloved show.
Tell me a little bit about the writing, and because I think one of the things I really appreciated about this last episode was how much I reflected over the past 6 seasons. And then the characters are exactly the same. Nothing was learned, and nothing was gained, other than the audience's love for the characters themselves. You can see Guillermo being very frustrated with them because it's all the same, and I think that's kind of the magic of it was the fact that you guys were able to play so much within that same sandbox of characteristics, and yet still be able to keep us all engaged for so long. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the we were so incredibly lucky from day one to have just a really funny, solid writer's room. Paul Sims is obviously a legend and assembled some incredible writers. We've in the beginning, Stephanie Robinson, Tom Sharpling, and then most recently Sarah Naftalis and Marika Sawyer and uh, Rajat and Jeremy. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And I think, the unsentimentality of the show is why it's worked as long as it has. It doesn't make people think about their lives, it like a dramedy may. It's just a silly, hard, absurd comedy, and it's escapism for people. And I wish there was more of that on TV because that's what I'm a fan of right now.
Yeah, and then although we're dealing with these vampires, Harvey Guillermo Gizmo, with as I I don't know why I love every time they call you that. Um, you're the familiar, of course, in the beginning. You're the side character, but really you're the one who holds it all together. In my opinion, you're the humanity of it all. You're the one that connects the audiences with them. What has that been like for you? Because I know so many people who love your character so much. What do you take away from your experience on the show?
Yeah, I mean, it's been very nice. I feel, yeah, like you said, he's the human in the show, so we can all relate to his, journey. I feel like we've all been a Guillermo at one point or a Memo in our lives or another. Like we've all been, at a job that overlooked us for a promotion. We've all been maybe is secretly, in love and can express that. We can express our sexuality maybe to our family, or we can express who we truly are, our desires. So I feel like all the things that Guillermo kind of went through in the trajectory of the seasons that we saw him are kind of just human story, that we can all relate to and we all root for him. So whenever we're rooting for Guillermo, you're really rooting for yourself because you can see yourself in him and you're like, I've been there, similar situation, different characters with similar storylines maybe. And it's been really nice to kind of have the audience kind of really lean into loving Memo, and rooting for him and wanting the best for him. It's really nice to hear, fans when you go to a Comic-Con say, I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be, and it's like, yeah, of course we want to be happy. That's what makes us human. We have empathy for each other, that we want the best for everyone. So it's been really nice to play a character that originally started and didn't really speak as much on the first season, and kind of we learned that he was a Van Helsing. He didn't have a last name, and I asked Jermaine if I could give him a last name, and he said, "Well, what are you thinking?" Unbeknownst to me that he had a Van Helsing storyline, I said, "I don't know, something like De la Cruz," and he's like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "It means of the cross. Is that okay?" He's like, "That's perfect." And I just remember picking that name and thinking, why did he say it like that? Oh well. That was like season 1 early on. And then to find out that he was a Van Helsing and everything, I was like, whoa, why did you let me pick that last name for him? Which turned out to be more perfect than I could ever imagine. And so everything just, fell into place and was really lovely. And I really loved the way that it ended, wrapping up for him, but also leaving it open-ended for him and Nandor to go on adventures.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see that unfold somehow. I don't know how we would do that, but I was really nervous about that final episode because kind of what we've seen season through season, I wasn't sure where it can go, and just the fact that you guys can just take it and go, yeah, we're done with the documentary. We got all the footage because we could have kept going and going and going with more of these adventures. How do you guys feel about that final episode of the way they decided to wrap it up?
I thought it was tonally perfect. It's spot on to what the fans have grown to love about the show over 6 seasons. So I would have been disappointed if it went any other direction.
And Harvey, were you happy with the fact that you got that last moment with Nandor and to really
Yeah,
tie the
I
bow?
like I like where they landed, and again they ended up being partners together. They ended up in a coffin till death do them part, and falling into a pit. That Guillermo kind of brushed off, and I was like, sure, when he was drawing these sketches of like the layer that he had made, and to see that he went through with it, like he kept his word, which was a good sign when he said, "Call me Nandor," and it's like things are like looking up. Like Nandor's keeping his word. He's doing, what he's saying he's gonna do, and he means what he says. And so he's turning a new leaf, I think. And Guillermo's along for the ride. I think he really wants to see this through. So it was lovely to see them go off together and in the coffin, share a coffin together. That's nice.
Yeah, and about that last episode, I was talking with Kristen earlier. She was telling me that as some of the scenes were progressing, they were starting to tear things down. So there was a little bit more sense of like, oh yeah, this is actually it. This is the end. But what was it like for you guys to for that final scene in the family room when you guys family meeting? Uh, all of you guys are, well, actually maybe not for you guys as much because you guys don't necessarily have fangs or very very fancy outfits per se. Not that you guys aren't dressed well, but what was it like for you guys to be in that room together for that last time, for that last meeting, um, in the last episode?
It was sad for me we shot that last scene the last day of the last episode. So it was perfectly aligned. Like the thing you saw on screen is the last day on set, which was weird because as the crew and the documentary and the show was breaking down, the real crew in our show of what we do in the shadows was breaking down sets around us. So it was kind of like all coming down within. It was like layers upon layers. So for me, I used that for Guillermo's last scene because it was very emotional for him. Because again, he's human, so he's gonna feel these emotions, and it's okay to have feelings, and it's okay to feel. I remember for the vampires, it's just a blink of an eye. It's another, it's like, oh, really? Has it been that long? It felt like it was longer. But not for Guillermo. Like time is of the essence, and like our clock is ticking. To him, it's such an emotional thing. So I wanted to be as organic to him as possible, and authentic to keeping it, as real as possible. So it was perfectly aligned. Paul Sims made that choice to pick the last day to be the last scene that we shot and to do that scene with Guillermo as they sing around the piano, "We'll meet again." We don't know that song. And it was sad. It was just like emotionally just draining, but it was sweet at the same time because it was full circle and it was like life keeps going.
For you, Mark?
Yeah, similar. It's you're on one hand sad that you're not going to get to hang around with these people every year. And you do make close friends with the cast and the crew over 6 seasons. We were filming Toronto, Canada, and we were there almost 2 straight years if you add it all together. And that's a long time to get to know people and form bonds. But at the same time, that's also a long time to be away from family and friends. And so you look forward, at least I did, to having Thanksgiving at home for the first time in almost 6 seasons. Things like that. And, you know, you're excited about other ideas and other projects that may be coming down the pike. But that's not to say you don't appreciate what you've been given. And it's such an incredible gift that everyone a part of the show that has been given.
It's very well said. And yes, we are very sad to see you both go on the series, but I do also appreciate that you guys are leaving on a high note where it's bittersweet per se, because we know we'll see you guys in other projects. Heck, Harvey, you're the voice of Nightwing, which I really, really love. And
Yeah. New season coming out.
yeah, I know. I just saw that just today, actually. And then Mark, I just want to wrap up by saying I have I'm actually in a studio newsroom right now. So if you ever want to come on one of my shows and show off any of your skills, I would be more than happy to put you in on a time slot.
It's, you know, if you hadn't known about it and I was offered to come on, then maybe, but
Then maybe, but now you
the
know
fact that you know about it.
you're in on the joke.
Oh, we know about it. We
I'm
we
sure,
are
I'm
very
sure.
well aware. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the series. Thank you so much for your time that you've made for me, not today, but in previous times before. I really appreciate it as a journalist and also as a fan of the show. So thank you so much. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank
Well,
you.
no